Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I know we have a few students here. We have a couple students coming in, but I do want to get started to leave time for the presentation and then also to ask any questions. And I really highly encourage you ask questions while we're here. But I wanted to take a moment to introduce our speaker today, someone I've known for a long time, a great colleague, friend, Mr. Mike Green. He's going to be talking about the Pulse program. And so he's been working with Pulse for a long time. And so the purpose is really to talk about not just the application process, because the application is live and will be closing in a few weeks, but more about like what the program entails. So we've promoted this program through EWF for a really long time. We've had a lot of students go through this program at the different stages that it's offered. And it's a really, really great opportunity if you're thinking about med school, because it offers different preparation for the different tracks you're in. So you guys know, as undergrad students, when you're preparing for medical school, there's different like phases almost. So like you're in your course phases, and then you start thinking about MCATs and all of these different things you have to think about. You really have to plan ahead for med school. So this is a really great opportunity and program. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike and let him do his thing. And then please, you can put him in the chat. If you have questions as he's going along, feel free to throw them in the chat and I will monitor, and then we can leave time at the end.
All righty. So good time is it? Is it 12? Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Green. I am a program coordinator here at Cooper Medical School within the Office of Diversity and Community Affairs. I want to thank Randy for taking time to schedule, this info session, and hopefully you guys will be able to learn some good information and apply to this program. So I work with multiple programs. One of our signature programs is called Pulse, and it's an acronym, as you see, for Pre-Medical Urban Leaders Summer Enrichment Program. We are now entering, I want to say, our 12th summer. I've been working with the program since, I want to say, summer of 2015. So yes, I am a dinosaur, or beginning to turn into a dinosaur over here. But it's a wonderful program that's geared towards college students. So what is Pulse? It's a 6-week summer enrichment program for undergraduate students interested in pursuing healthcare professions. Provides academic clinical research and community service opportunities with a focus on urban health needs. And the curriculum includes a combination of coursework, seminars, study skills workshops, and exposure to clinical settings. So in terms of applying, students would have to be US citizens or permanent residents and have completed their first year of college by the start of the program, generally with the following coursework: semester of bio or chem, 1 semester of math, a semester of an expository writing or English comp, to have the listed GPAs. So for phase 1, which is typically geared towards our freshmen, 3.0 or higher; phase 2, which is a mix of sophomores, sometimes juniors, 3.2 or higher; and phase 3, 3.3 or higher. And phase 3 is typically for seniors, I would like to say, who are at the point of applying to medical school or some professional school. We do welcome students who have previously participated in phases 1 and 2 to reapply for admission for a more advanced level, and special consideration will be given to students who are underrepresented in medicine and those from educationally and financially disadvantaged backgrounds. However, we do encourage all applicants to apply. So for phase 1, it is designed for students who have just started their pre-professional studies and have completed the general eligibility requirements. And these are just some of the curriculum highlights for that phase. There's an intro to chemistry, critical and reflective reasoning skills, health professions, career seminars, learning skills workshops, community-based service learning. We are able to identify physicians from Cooper Hospital as well as other healthcare systems to come in to speak to students about trajectory, why they decided to enter medicine as a career, And, often a lot of these physicians are from underrepresented backgrounds. So, they're able to really, give some good insight and, some inspiration to, get you guys interested in going into the field further. The community-based service learning component is something that's really important for phase one, where on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, they will go out to the city of Camden and will conduct some type of volunteer work. We've partnered with several organizations in the city of Camden, such as the Volunteers of America, Ronald McDonald House, Center for Family Services, the Salvation Army Croc Center, among other organizations. And generally, it's an opportunity for our students to go out and, give back, help out, and to see how these organizations are actually serving, the specific populations that they serve. So it's a very big deal. Students love it. And generally, over the course of the 5.5 weeks that students are in the program, they will be working on a poster project, which is generally highlighted by the work that they do through their volunteer work. So it's a really, it's a wonderful part of the program, and the students really, enjoy being able to, interact with, Camden residents as well as these organizations. These are just some of the pictures from some of our past workshops. As you can see, there's a blood pressure workshop, a simulation lab workshop, where, we have a lot of interactive instructional devices. So students, have a chance to really, do the hands-on thing, which is really important. It's not just like this lecture-based program. You will have a chance to, do some activities. And this at the very bottom is just an image from the poster symposium, which falls on the final day of the program. Phase two, it's designed for students who have completed 2 semesters of biochemistry and organic chemistry. Below are the curriculum highlights. Again, intro to biochemistry, lecture and team-based learning activities, MCAT and CARS review, physician seminars, and clinical shadowing. This phase will find that they will actually have the opportunity to do shadowing work at Cooper Hospital in a specific medical department. So it's a huge deal just in terms of, being able to, get outside of, the building that we're in, and, really get out there and, interact with physicians on a weekly basis. So really, really great phase. These are some of our images, additional workshops, suturing. You have the clinical shadowing, and as well as lunch seminars. Now, the physicians that come in on or are able to participate for the lunch seminars, again, are from Cooper Hospital and different healthcare agencies, but we allow, both phase 1 and phase 2 to sometimes have lunch sessions together where these physicians will talk to the whole group. And, we really bring in some, really dynamic personalities who, have backgrounds that may be similar to yours. And, they are really, interested in being able to dialogue with you guys to talk about, all of the things that they had to go through and what their day-to-day like is in that specific specialty. Phase 3, designed for students who are at the near point of applying to professional school and have completed nearly all pre-professional science requirements. So again, these students are basically at the door of applying to medical school. They're working with an anatomist here at the Cooper Medical School, working with actual cadavers, which is like a huge thing. There's an introduction to biostatistics and research, professional development workshops, as well as the MCAS application assistance. We also will do like mock interviews for students that are in this phase, as many of them are and will be applying to Cooper Medical School as well as other institutions. So, we really are doing our best to, make sure that, all students in this phase are prepared for that next level. And this is an image of the students in the anatomy lab. So additional program details. Academic credit is not provided. However, students will benefit from the opportunity to network with health professionals and medical school administrators. Participants are expected to provide their own transportation to campus for the entire duration of the program. Housing isn't provided. However, Rutgers-Camden has offered the dormitory accommodations to Pulse participants, and students may receive a stipend to offset their costs. And as you guys know, Rutgers-Camden is very much close to our medical school. It's probably like not even a 5-minute drive, maybe close to a 10-minute walk. We're in a safe area. We sit like 10 to 15 feet from Cooper Hospital. So everything will be in close proximity. Health insurance for participating students is not provided. Students, however, must submit proof of health insurance for participation. And finally, there is no cost to participate in the program. So the schedule of this upcoming summer's program is from June 6th to July the 15th. Our program will finish on the Friday, and it's from 8:30 to 4:30, and it will take place here at the Cooper Medical School, barring any unforeseen circumstances this spring. And this is just a schedule of phase one's, weekly schedule. As you can see, they do a chemistry course from 8:30 to 10:30 in the morning. After that, there are an assortment of different workshops, learning workshops, professional workshops, as well as hands-on. You have your lunch at 12, where you guys will be able to venture out and grab something to eat. And then on, again, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, your service learning. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, there may be a trip or some other type of workshop to participate in, followed by those study sessions. So our application has already opened. We opened on the 1st of November, and we will be closing it on February the 4th. So we ask that, students, if you're interested in applying, start to reach out to your recommendation instructors or instructors for recommendations. Generally, you will need a science recommendation as your primary and a non-science recommendation. Reach out now, because I know that, instructors are super busy. They have other people that are probably reaching out to them to ask them to do some of the same things for other programs. You will also need to, again, provide your official academic transcript along with a resume, and the application is online. Now, I know that there were some students that are probably taking a bio or chemistry this semester. It is okay. What we would need is a letter or some type of blurb from that instructor, basically letting us know how you are doing in that particular course. But we will need, the final transcript by the time that the program starts. Finally, this is the contact information for my colleague and myself, Ms. Jagaria, and our link to the application is at the very bottom of the page. And so basically, you will go onto our website. You can actually read, a little bit more information about the breakdown of the program, and just easily go into the application. You would have to enter in the names of the recommenders that you're choosing to write your letters. Once you're done your application, they will then get an email saying and that they would need to upload their letters. If there is some type of issue in terms of them uploading it, they can actually just send their letters directly to me, and then I will upload it on their behalf. But generally, this is it's a wonderful program. Again, we have a lot of talented and successful students that have come through. I'm actually starting to see that many of them that have participated are now being accepted into medical school. We have a student of mine that was actually in my high school program who has done the high school program and Pulse, and will be starting Cooper Medical School this fall. So, we're very much looking for students who are eager to learn, who are motivated, who are going to come in and do the work, and just, coming in with an open mind. We work really hard to, put this program together. Again, there are 3 different curriculums, and there's a lot of things that kind of go into, making sure that this is a success. So I would highly encourage you all to apply. Again, because we're approaching the end of January, now's the time to, reach out to those instructors to, ask for them to write letters on your behalf. And we do bring in, I left this part out, we bring in 25 students each phase. So that's a total of 75 students, and we get like literally hundreds of students to apply. Do not let that discourage you from applying, though. You know what I'm saying? So, it could, one of those spots could easily be yours, but just keep in mind that, it is a very competitive program. We are recruiting at, most of the New Jersey EOF schools, as well as historically Black colleges and universities, as well as other universities in the country. So, yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Mike. So I had a follow-up question. You don't have, so say you didn't do phase 1, but you're like kind of in the area for phase 2. You haven't had to do previous phases to be accepted, correct?
No, you can just we get students who have never heard of the program, and they're like sophomores and juniors, and then they decide to apply, and they'll get in. So no.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So does any of the students who are with us, do you guys have questions about the program, about the application process, or just anything? Like, now's the time to ask. Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Green.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So you said 100 people are applying to the school. Is it just Rutgers, Rowan, like any college in the neighborhood?
Well, no, for when I said hundreds, plural,
Mhm.
but no, we get students from Rutgers that apply, Rowan, some of the community colleges up North Jersey. We've had students that apply from Columbia University, Howard, Lincoln, Dell State, schools, Florida State, Florida A&M. So it's a pretty, I think we do a pretty good job in terms of really, marketing the program and everything like that. But again, it's one of those things where it's one of the few programs like that in this area that are geared towards underrepresented students. So I always tell students, I'm like, listen, take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a free program, and just, the exposure that you're getting is priceless. You know what I'm saying? Even if I didn't work here or anything, it's not obviously I have to try to sell this to you, right? But if I weren't an employee here and I'd heard about it and I knew what I know, I'm like, if you're serious about medicine, this is very much, a good program for you. So.
And probably my last question, but I know you take care of the application process. I don't know if you've seen mine. Did I get accepted in that?
Yeah, so we won't make our selections until probably the end of March.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm transcripts and recommendations are coming in every single day. So I might see a name right now and then forget it 10 minutes later, because it's just literally a high volume of just documents coming in. But
right.
Shoot me an email, you know what I'm saying? Just to kind of, because I can take a look to kind of see if you have everything that you need and everything like that. But yeah, sorry, man.
It's all right. It's all right.
I will say though, if you have, because there's an essay component, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say, I have reviewed Pulse applications before. So I've done the review process of a couple years now, for different phases. And I'd say one of the things that I've looked for a lot, of course you have to meet all the requirements, but really the essay part I think is important, because it helps you shine through a little bit about why this is important to you, what makes you a good applicant. So if you haven't applied yet, really make sure you're putting effort into that essay, because I think when you're looking at different applications, a lot of people could have all the requirements, it's just like anything. Like this program is great because often what I tell students is like a lot of students go to med school with a 4.0, right? Like that's, but what makes you stand out differently than every other student that came away from college with a 4.0? It's all about the experience you had. So were you shadowing? Were you doing internships? Did you participate in a program like this? Like those are the things that are going to get you into med school or to health programs, especially competitive ones. So I really, really, really recommend like the essay part, putting some effort into that when you apply. And then just in general, if you haven't applied yet or you're not sure if you want to apply, like thinking about how is this going to help you stand out for med school, because that's often some of the biggest barriers that students come up with. It's not your grades, it's just that you didn't prepare ahead of time and then you're crunched like in your senior year being like, oh crap, like I need to get experience now. And then you have to take the MCAT has to be like a year in advance of when you're almost applying. So then it sets you back like almost 2 years. So you want to make sure that you have it all lined up so you can be on the timeline that you want to be on.
And then they also have like this pathways thing where like if you got into phase 1, did phase 2 and phase 3, then you'd be giving a complimentary interview with the medical school, which is also another selling point because everybody doesn't get like an actual interview. But there's just so many takeaways from, like being in a program like this. And, again, I've seen so many students just like really develop and grow like over a period of years. The other part is that I've noticed like for students who maybe haven't participated in summer programs like this, when they're first coming in, like when you were in high school, like you were a senior and those freshmen came in and they were like, man, they're a little like awkward a little bit, they trying to figure their ways out. This is a program that kind of like helps combat that just in terms of like, when you come in, you'll know the language, you'll know who to go to. And, like just in terms of like that social part, which I think is kind of like lacking, and particularly in a time of COVID where, people aren't around each other. And I think a program like Pulse very much helps just in terms of like when you're with other groups of people that you haven't been around before or around physicians, you're able to kind of like feel comfortable in those environments. So take advantage of, again, these type of opportunities if you can. And, again, I encourage you all to apply.
Yeah. Other questions?
But,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was glad because I was, when in my written part, I said exactly that, what you just said, Mr. Green, like having that language, that lingo, so I can already be comfortable in those environments. So that's good.
Looking forward to reviewing your application, man.
Alexi or August, do you guys have any questions? It's okay if you don't. I just want to make sure they're addressed.
My question is that does the program accept students that are about to graduate from college?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Although the program is generally geared to those who are, that freshman to, I would say, junior year going into their senior year. But I can't give you like the number, like how many we have or whatever, but we do, yes.
Another question, do you guys have different programs that's for like non-student wise that already graduate from college, similar to this program?
So right now, like the only programs that we have a high school program. We have this program. There's a post-bac program for those who are looking to go back to get, that additional coursework and instruction to be able to apply to medical school. That's another program. And then this health professions program, which is typically to college students. Ms. Tragaria, who is the director of that program, is like very, very new, and I don't know enough about it to sit here and to relate it to you, but I could like provide you with her contact information and maybe have you guys, communicate with each other about it. But right now, those are our only, programs here at the medical school.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, the requirement for this program is just biology and chemistry, right?
Yes. So in order to apply for that very first phase, you would have to have the, the bio or chem, English, math, and the 3.0.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I can also apply in my second year of like in my sophomore years too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So for phase 2, in order to apply, you would need to have all of phase 1's requirement and also organic chemistry.
Okay.
Mhm.
Some other questions? Okay, I'm going to stop recording.